The standard story of business has at least 4 flaws. I'm going to talk about 3 of them in this video and save the 4th one for the next one. The first flaw is that business is not just about economics and the money. Business is not just about profits. This gets dressed up sometimes as the purpose of any business is to maximize profits for shareholders. The purpose of any business is to maximize profits for shareholders. The best example I can give you of this is to say, well, I need to make red blood cells to live. I think I'm on pretty safe scientific ground there. But making red blood cells isn't the purpose of life. Every business has to make money. It doesn't matter whether you're for profit or not for profit, you've got to pay the bills. You've got to have some way to generate cash. But it doesn't follow from that that's the purpose of a business. And furthermore, business is part of society. It's not some isolated activity that's just about money and profits. I've known a lot of entrepreneurs in my life. I've had a lot of students who have started businesses, some of whom I hope you'll meet. Most entrepreneurs I know don't start a business just because they want to make money and profits. Yeah, there are a few. Most entrepreneurs start a business because they're absolutely on fire about something. And it doesn't matter whether you're Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, on fire about this personal computer revolution, or a friend of mine who starts a car radio business who's on fire about being able to bring really good music to people when they're in their cars. They're trying to make their lives and the people they know, they're trying to make their lives better. That's where business gets its purpose. It's not just about money and profits. Don't misunderstand me. Money and profits are important, but purpose is something else. And I think we've forgotten that. The old story certainly has. The second flaw goes a little bit like this. If I tell somebody I teach business ethics, which I do, they have to manage not to laugh, or they say things like, yeah, business ethics, oxymoron, 2 words that are contradictory, like jumbo shrimp. Or they tell you some joke. I think I've heard them all. I didn't know business had ethics. It must be a short course. Must be a theoretical subject. There's this idea in the dominant story that business on the one hand, ethics on the other, and they don't mix. My experience is really very different. Most business people I know actually want to and actually do act ethically and act with integrity. They want to do the right thing. They're no different than you or I. They don't automatically walk in the door of their businesses and become, sort of greedy and only care about money. So this idea that business and ethics are separate is a deeply problematic idea in the old story. Well, so it's more than about money and profits. Business and ethics need to be connected. And the third flaw is this idea that people are simple. They're motivated by money and self-interest. One of my favorite management theorists was a guy named Harry Levinson. He was kind of a crusty old guy. Used to hang out at the Harvard Business School a lot. And he would ask executives, what's the way most people are assumed to be motivated in most companies? And they would say, rewards and punishments, carrots and sticks. And he would go and draw a picture that looked like this, only hopefully a little bit better than this. I have a daughter who's an artist who got absolutely none of her ability from me, which I'm proving. Okay, so just so you know, this is the carrot on this side, and this is the stick over here. And Levinson would say, okay, what animal is in the middle of that? And people would say, as they still do, a jackass. And Levinson would say, maybe human beings are slightly more complicated than jackasses. And it's a little worse. when you start treating people this way, as if rewards and punishment are the only thing that matters, they start nosing for the carrot and trying to avoid getting hit with the stick. In short, you turn them into jackasses. Human beings are complicated. We're complex creatures. Money's more than about profits. It's about purpose. Business and ethics have to be connected, and human beings are complicated. We need to use those ideas to build a new story of business. And there's one more about globalization, which I'll talk about in the next video. I want you to think about the organizations you're involved with. Maybe they're business schools or religious organizations, businesses or schools or civic groups or governments. What's their purpose? Do they act on that purpose most of the time? Is that purpose ever misunderstood? Let's have a conversation about purpose and its important role.